All right. Okay, so let's start. I mean, we're a little bit behind schedule, but I'm glad all you guys are still here. My name is Danny. I'm the founder of a company called PQA Labs. And, well, I'm not exactly telling you what I do for now, but I do want you guys to take a look about this particular topic or question that let's just say I get a lot at different events and conferences I go to when I try to talk to people about, PQ stands for post-quantum, right? Post-quantum blockchain money. What is it, right? People actually don't really understand it, so I'm going to try my best to give you, easiest way to understand what it is. Okay? Hopefully you guys can, understand why we should or shouldn't care about, post-quantum blockchain money. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so if you look at the title, there's actually 3 distinct different concepts that's in there. You got your post-quantum or quantum computers, blockchain, and money, right? So let's kind of dive into it and different concepts together and separately. Now, according to a 2023 Coinbase study, about 82% of the Americans have heard or know about Bitcoin or blockchains, but actually only 32% claim that they understand what it is. And according to another study in the UK, you can see that circle become even smaller. And quantum computers is actually something that's been around even longer than blockchains. They've been around like 40, 50 years already, right? And actually even less people will understand what it is. So both technology as a standalone takes some time to understand, let alone we're talking about an intersection right there, right? Blockchain, quantum, and blockchain. So this is actually not something new. We've all gone through this before, at least most of us here in this room, right? What's on the top? What is a server computers, okay? And then the internet we use. So back in the 80s and 90s, people don't know what they are. What are they? Right? They don't come up in our everyday conversations. But what about now? They're ubiquitous. So when it comes to quantum and blockchain, I'm going to venture out and say it's going to be the same thing. Well, we might not know what they are, exactly understand what they do right now, but in the future, and I would say in the near future, they'll become pretty ubiquitous, and we all have to know about it. We all have to go and live through it. So let's try to do it in a little one-on-one, what those two are. Blockchains, they're permissionless. Okay, I'm talking about public blockchains here, right? So permissionless means anyone can use it. Anyone can play in it. Anyone can be on it. It's, there's no restrictions. It is transparent, as in all the transactions, all the assets, everything you happen on the blockchain. It might be pseudonymous, as you might not know who's behind it, but everything that's happened on the public blockchain is transparent, as in everybody can see it. It's immutable, well, mostly, because there is different consensus systems using blockchains. It's actually, let's just say it's very difficult to reverse a blockchain transactions, to near impossible. And then they are cryptographically encrypted. So all our data asset, they're being encrypted. Okay, so pretty much that's blockchains. Then quantum computers. What are they? Well, first of all, the leveraged law of quantum physics. Whoa, that sounds really exciting, right? What are they? Well, just think Avengers, right? People travel back in times. Ant-Man going big and small. That's how powerful quantum physics are. And quantum computing uses the laws of quantum physics to do it. So now you can imagine how powerful they can get. For now, computation-wise, they're exponentially fast than what a classical computers can do. And they're extremely good at simulations and solving numbers equations, which happen to be most of the cryptography used on blockchains. Okay, so pretty much that's how I will put them together into what we're going to talk about. Now let's tackle the next topic, which is the money part. Oops, sorry. Okay, so stablecoins, so what are they? Very simply, they are just money on blockchains. And I'm talking about fiat-backed, right? Stablecoin is backed by actual fiat, US dollars, Hong Kong dollars, whatever it is. They're nothing other than just money on blockchains, okay? So very quickly, just some background. Stablecoin total market It's over 175 billion as of today, right? And it hasn't actually hit the all-time high, which is about 183 billion back in 2022. But that actually includes all kind of different types of stablecoin. When we talk about FRS, fiat reference stablecoins, we're actually already at an all-time high today, okay? And it's going to continue to grow, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, first, there's going to be more assets to buy. They're going to use stablecoins, okay? This is a BCG study that shows basically a projection of what they call a tokenized market, right? So basically asset being put on blockchains, okay? They estimate to grow to up to 16.1 trillion by the end of the decade, okay? And if you look at the charts, they're mostly, equities, bonds, financial instruments, with the last part, the gray part, being other tokenized asset. I'm going to venture out to say the last gray part is going to be greater than what BCG predicted. What do I mean by that? There are so many different kind of assets currently right now that have a huge market cap that just started to slowly being put on chain. Gold, 18 trillion today. Real estate, 50 trillion today. Even as small as art is 2 trillion today. All these are naturally assets that can be put on blockchain through a tokenization method. And all those things you can buy, you can use Bitcoin to buy for sure, but stablecoin, something that you know what the values are, you can use it, so there are more assets to buy on blockchains. Another use case, consumer payments, right? With all this name over here, just look at Visa and MasterCard. 2023, they transacted over 21 trillion in consumer payments. Stablecoin, and I'm looking at the bottom, technically, stablecoin transaction volume last year was 10.8, okay? But 80% of that was actually machine-driven trading. Okay, that is still right now the biggest use case for stablecoin. So if I take out those what we call inorganic uses of stablecoin, it's still only about 2.3 trillion. So look at that, well, how about 10x? In terms of, if you started to incorporate stablecoin into the payments system, working with Visas, working with MasterCard, that's how big of usage a stablecoin can be. Another one, business ecosystems, right? You got your B2B payments, you got your e-commerce. Right now, if you look at the gray bar, 2023, they add up to about 45 trillion today. And this is a Coinbase study. If you look at projection in 2030, the blue bars add up to about 75 trillion. So that's another 30 trillion of growth just on the business ecosystem alone. So, basically, different use cases that tells you that stablecoin is here to stay, and it's going to grow pretty fast. Okay, so I'm keep using the word 2030, right? So what is going to be in 2030? Well, we got an optimistic part. We got Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle. He said on Bankless podcast in April that he's expected to go on to 3 trillion by the end of the decade. That's on one spectrum. On the other spectrum, we got Mr. Paul Brody from Ernst & Young. I was there actually just 2 weeks ago at the Stablecoin Summit in Singapore. He actually went down and gave this whole projection about how stablecoin growth, and they put about 0.8 trillion in 2030 and 2.5 trillion by 2035. And then you got independent study, you got Forbes, actually McKinsey came out with a separate study. It all came out to about 1 trillion. So you got this little spectrum between, let's just say 0.8, 1 trillion, and 3 trillion in the next 5 years. As you remember, 175 billion. That's 5x, at least 6x to at the low end, and 18x in the high end. Now that has huge growth potentials. So now that hopefully we've established that, this quantum, this blockchain, and this money. And I think the money part is actually why we should care, right? We all care about my money, right? And we want to keep our money safe and private. So you put in the votes, bank, underneath your mattress, right? You try to keep them. And obviously you do this because you don't want people to know how much you have, and you don't want them to know where you hide it. But here's the problem. Blockchains, I told you, it's transparent, right? So everybody knows how much money in a particular wallet. They might not know it's your wallet, but they know in that wallet there's $1.5 million USDT or PQU or stablecoin that's in there, okay? So they know exactly where it is, it's in wallet address. They know exactly what's in it because of the content. And so that's blockchain. And then you got the best of the best in quantum computers that's going to crack it. Okay, so we got a problem here if you wouldn't do something about it. And it's actually not a matter of if, so I'm not really scaring you guys here, right? If, for people who actually in the earlier panels, in the morning, we're talking about the Shor's algorithm, we talk about quantum computers, right? So basically, there's actually an algorithm out there, mathematically proven, that if quantum computer is strong enough, they're going to break all the public cryptography. What does that mean? They will reverse engineer your public key to get the private key of your wallet. And all this cryptography used by Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the major blockchains are vulnerable. So it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Okay, so this is where there's a lot of debates. When? So you go, again, we're talking about spectrum, right? You got this, wow, there's no time to waste camp, okay? So, for example, I just picked one of the many, Dr. Arthur Harmon from the Hasse Institute, saying that Q-Day is actually a term for, it's almost like for people who are old enough to watch, Terminators. It actually came from the word Judgment Day, right? So it's a day where the whole hell breaks loose, right? Everything, quantum computer is so strong, it breaks all the encryption out there. And it's saying that it's coming sooner than you think. Okay, so in 2021, it's much shorter than 10 years, what, maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, we're coming with it? Or you got the other side of the camp. Hey guys, relax, okay? It's not coming anytime that soon, okay? Quantum computer nowhere large enough to run Shor's algorithm, okay? And then not until at least the 2030s, maybe even later. Okay, so that's by another studies by the national academies. Right? So basically, again, you got this wide spectrum of when it's quantum computers coming that will crack your chains and encryptions. But with all those kind of backdrop, hopefully I've convinced you in the last 6, 7 minutes that, okay, at least I'm sold on stablecoin side. It is cheap, it's fast, secured, it's getting easier to use, okay? So, and it is on a irreversible trend for wider adoption. So, hey, and plus I care about my money. So stablecoin, fine. Quantum computer advancement, maybe the threat is real, but it's really not on top of my mind right now. Plus, I'm sure I'm not the only one who worry about this. There's so many more smarter minds that's out there, right? So I don't need to care about this, right? There are people who will solve the problem for me. So for this, I'm going to use analogies of those stock picker that's out there, Jim Cramer, CNBC, okay? He's going to drum up a stock, right, about certain company so great, right? And then you all go in to buy it. Oh, I'm going to buy, certain stock. But then when that company start the performance or there's some bad news, when things start to turn, he's not going to be the first one to tell you the company's going bad. He's going to be the one who starts selling all the stocks and selling all the options, all the stuff. He's going to make sure he gets out first before, people to tell you. So if you still, or any of us, still have that herd mentality, right? The procrastination about, I'm not going to do anything about it because smarter people are going to do it. Well, I think we might be in a big trouble because we know the bad actors are already acting. Okay? They are not going to wait. Okay? Why? There's this thing called the handle attacks. Harvest now, decrypt later. I just mentioned, right? Anytime anybody who works with blockchains, you run with one transaction, just one, on a blockchain. Your public keys on a blockchain. That's all it takes. And now, these people, they are just fetching all those public keys back in their, vaults, okay? And they are taking whatever they have, maybe not quantum computers now, They're taking whatever they have right now to run Schwartz algorithm, to reverse engineer to hopefully get your private key. They won't be successful now, but it's really not a matter of time or space. It's not they need to crack it in 10 seconds. They don't need to crack it in 10 minutes like a Bitcoin block time. They have all the time they need to crack it, and you don't even know about it. Okay? It literally, there's no time or space restrictions. It's a matter of technology. And when that day comes, you can say bye-bye to your asset, even before you know it. Okay? So, well, now, so should I care about it? Well, it's really up to you. But what I'm trying to drive to you is, if there's already, right, again, I'm coming about the money, the stablecoin side. If there's already a solution that's out there, products out there that if you use them, you just don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about if it comes tomorrow, if it comes in 5 years. You can use it just like any other stablecoin that's out there without to worry about it. Would you be willing to give it a try? That's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Danny, for your presentations, giving us more insight why we should care about PQ money.